Hi everyone, I hope you are excited to start our Foundations in Science class. FD Sci 101 is what I call it. This is kind of what each week is going to look like in terms of announcements, so I just want to show you what that's going to look like really briefly. So I usually have a video that kind of talks you through what we're doing for the week, and then I have a spiritual thought, and then a calendar, and then usually something to do either, usually a little bit extra. It might apply kind of later in the week, or it might apply right now. So for this week, here's what we have. So first, I like to start with a spiritual thought each week. This week comes from a sister who is in the chemistry department here at BYU Idaho, and she gave this thought. She said, the words experiment and experience have the same Latin root. They both come from experior, the word experior, which means to gain knowledge through repeated trials. Let us think about the word trial for a minute, because for most of us, this word represents difficult, even horrendous experiences we have in life. But in the scientific world, the word trial has positive connotations. It refers to experiments repeated in order to learn something valuable. For example, a clinical trial can be used to study the effects of a new drug or medical procedure. In science, then, the word trial is not associated with difficult parts of the experiment. It is the experiment. And I think that's kind of a good way of thinking of that word, experience and experiment and trials. So if you guys have any extra thoughts that you'd like to share about that spiritual thought, I would love to hear them over on the questions and conversations board, and there's a link for you there. There is a spiritual thought thread, and I'm going to show you in another video kind of what I learned looks like, so we'll get there if you're feeling confused. All right, due this week are the following things. So on Tuesday, I would love it if you guys could hop over to that spiritual discussion and reflect a little bit there. It doesn't need to be long. Very short is fine. And then also, if you could make sure you've completed your kind of pre-class checklist, which I emailed out to you. It's also the very first announcement for this class, and there's also a link to the survey here. Basically, this is just to give me an idea of when we should have our live class meetings. Most of the time, they've been on Tuesdays. And that's generally a good day because it gives you a little bit of time to do some of the prepare work before we meet together. And then it also gives you time after the meeting to study the meeting and be ready for the things that are due by Saturday. So Tuesday is generally where it ends up. But I will look at the data and see what you guys say about your availability. All right. Thursday by 11 p.m. you need to do your prepare quiz, which is going to cover the things in the welcome module as well as the lesson 1 prepare material. And then please also by Thursday, if you could at least have your icebreaker on the discussion board where you introduce yourself and send us a picture. There are a few things that I ask that you answer over there. If you could get that done by Thursday, then that gives everybody time to answer by Saturday. All right, and then that gets us back to Saturday by 11 p.m. And please notice that all these times are mountain time. So if you're in a different time zone, please plan accordingly. So on Saturday by 11 p.m., lesson 1 explore quiz, which is about this PowerPoint that you're going to be viewing below. Should be pretty quick, just kind of overview of the course. And then lesson 1 enrich essay is due. So this is kind of the big thing for the week. You're going to find a general authority talk about truth, or any talk. It doesn't have to be from conference necessarily, but from an LDS perspective about truth and science. And you can see more instructions in the enrich section of lesson 1. And you will need to turn in your little essay to the assignment box. And again, I'll show you where all these things are in the next video, as well as posting to you're just going to copy and paste that same essay into the discussion board for the enrich section. And then that is where your peers are going to read your essay and comment on it, is on that discussion board. I'm going to grade it from the assignment spot, but your peers are going to look at it from the discussion board spot. So it's the same thing on those two different places. And then another thing on Saturday, please make sure you've responded to anybody who's talked to you on your icebreaker by the end of the day on Saturday. And there's also a little pre-semester attitude quiz. It's really just a survey. There are points given to you no matter what you answer. So there aren't any wrong or right answers on that, but it does give you points. So just do it, because we are all about points, right? Okay, and then underneath the calendar is a section called Now or Later, and this one is a video that's going to, again, introduce you to iLearn and how to use things, where to find things, and that is our Explore class for the week. So this class does have a weekly meeting, and so that will be it for this week, is just to make sure you've watched that video and kind of gotten familiar with how the course works. All right, so again, I'm Sister G, and I am really looking forward to getting to know all of you guys a little bit better, and I will see you guys around. And please make sure you use that questions and conversations board, especially these first couple of weeks as we're getting used to how this works. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.